Keith, the weather today, a little bit of an indication of how this weekend's going to go, but
Yes.
sounds like we are going to have some good news.
Yes, half and half. We're going to get some sun second half of this weekend, and then next
At least
week
it's the good day. It's Sunday. It's Mother's Day.
Yes, that's an important one. I was telling Ryan that my mom today, when she was talking to me on the phone, she said, "Is our reservation outside? Because you keep talking about having a sweater." And I was like, "No, actually ours is inside, but we've been there before, where it's been like a late lunch or something."
You're so good to handle it.
Yeah.
You're good to handle it. I'm just like, what do you want to do, Mom?
What is it that you, well, it is about, like, is it food that you both like? Because that's the hard part sometimes, right? With parents, is like, are you all going to be on the same page about what you want to eat? Why don't you lead the way and I'll find something on the menu?
Yeah.
Like that's a good way to do it, right? Radar looks like good over southern Maine, but we're just starting to see that rain in there. Ryan and I were talking about the fact that this is leading edge stuff that's not hitting the ground yet. So I was outside just minutes ago, right? And it's not actually at net point was hitting the ground in Portland, but eventually it will. It took all day to get from here to here, basically. It will accelerate a bit as this low starts to move off to the north and east. And it's a pretty good looking low. This would be a nice little winter storm if it were that time of the year, the way it's wound up here, because it's going to be moving into the Gulf of Maine, bringing all its energy with it. So tonight, the rain will start moving in over the mid-coast, probably around sunset. And then we're looking at after sunset and really closer to midnight in parts of down east and northern Maine that the rain really gets in there. Off and on periods of downpours, otherwise light rain. The heaviest stuff looks to move in tomorrow morning through about the middle of the day. Now this model has the placement that you see, right over Portland, right over Wiscasset. It doesn't mean it's necessarily dead on as to the location of the heaviest rain, but there will be some really heavy banding going on tomorrow morning through the middle of the day. That's where we could see some ponding going on with the heavy rain. That continues into the early afternoon, and then we start wrapping this thing out of here. It's an all-day event over down East Maine, but maybe a little clearing here late in the day, certainly into New Hampshire, perhaps into southern and western Maine as well. Then we get into Mother's Day, and that has looked good all week. It's not hot, right? It's 60, 61, 62, most of the day spent in the 50s, so just be aware of that, but it's still really pleasant with a lot of sunshine and a dry northwest wind. As far as rainfall amounts here, the models have oscillated a bit, but 1.5 to 2.5 inches kind of broadly what we're looking at, south of Bangor especially, as far as total rainfall. And so the National Weather Service does have a flood watch here. I don't think we're going to see any big flooding here. This is going to be really minor stuff if it happens, and it's going to have to do with the speed of the rain tomorrow morning through the middle of the day. So it's just a little bit more, there's a little bit more rain that already fell here into New Hampshire, and that's why we have the flood watches there and not for the rest of the state. Broadly though, big picture, we've got a big ridge going in across the East Coast here for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at least of next week. And that's where you want to be at from the kind of 10,000 mile up view. That's a better pattern for sure. So we will get some reprieve here. Model's backed up a little on how warm is mid next week, but it's still in the 70s. So it's just a matter of whether or not we're going to be in the 80s. So we'll keep an eye on that part of it. That's a good thing to have to track, though, right? If that's our forecast challenge next week, is it 77 or 82? Great, I love that for us.
Good problem to have.
Overall, it is quieter, and more importantly, it is dry for a little while.
Very important.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yes.
Thanks, Keith.